Hey everybody, this is Muffin with the Daily Biker Podcast. Just here to let y'all know the opinions and ideas expressed in this show are those of the hosts and their guests, not to be confused with their partners and sponsors. Now, let's get it on.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Bikes and Beards YouTube channel, and you guys are listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You're gonna love it.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, four different brands.
Do you have 4 different brands?
I have 4 different brands.
He had to think about that for a minute.
I did have to think about that.
What do you have?
Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, KTM.
I have not had a KTM yet.
They're fun.
The 390 is super fun.
Yeah, I've had people ride the 390. Actually, I had, so Tim Fowler rode the 390 the other day because he, I told you he got rid of his Duck.
Yeah.
And
he
picked up a KTM 890 Adventure.
Yeah, he had it here at the house.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Those are nice ones.
yeah, he rode the 390 the other day, and he comes back and he's like, "Oh my word, that thing is a blast!" But I told him, and I've told you this, Daniel.
Yeah.
What I was telling both of them, Ben, was if someone could take, like say the WR 450 chassis or the CRF 450L chassis, how they do like the dual sport versions of it that are street legal, take that chassis. KTM has the capabilities to do it. Take that chassis and put that 390 straight out of the street onto that. So it's a more street oriented for service and power and stuff like that. It would be a fantastic bike. I mean, I think it would literally come in and start putting a hurt on some of these Japanese brands for those dual sport, very streetable motorcycles. Because the WR and the CRF 450 are fantastic bikes.
Yep.
But oil change, every 1,200 miles or whatever it is?
They're more dirt bikes than they are street bikes.
Yeah, like you would have one of those and put it in the back of your truck and drive it up to the Dragon and rip the Dragon in supermoto mode or rip around town in supermoto mode. But you wouldn't want to
ride it to the Dragon.
No.
Well, just for the sole purpose, you do it 2 or 3 times and you have to change the oil.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to constantly change oil in my motorcycle. I want to ride my motorcycle.
Change the oil, check the valve clearance.
Yeah.
Gotta pull the head off.
Oh, great. Now me and the mad scientist got to pull the head off and replace the piston rings you fried. Family.
Oh, goodness.
Stop.
So
I started on a CRF 230L Honda in 08 for my adventure riding.
Yeah.
that's a small bike to start.
I bought it for me as a starter, and mostly because I thought my wife would get into it, and that would be hers, and I would move over to what I ended up getting, the WR 250.
Yeah.
Which now, after riding a Harley for so long, you can't ride those anymore.
Yeah.
They're too small. I think that was a fun bike off. Now I'm like, I got to go at least 450, maybe 390.
Yeah. So,
I'm as big as Muffin. I'm like 5'8", 150.
5'8", 150. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
People that are that small, usually when it comes to stuff, they can't get like that in their voice when they try and go, "Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast." They can't do it. You've heard Lewis try and do it. Lewis is that small.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey everybody." So
It sounds like it's a different audience.
I'm really 155, so
make it up for it. Well, my name is Marcus, and I am your clueless leader. That voice that you hear that sounds a little awkward, the audio is coming through perfect. So if you don't hear it correctly, it's your fault. Change your speakers, not ours. That is Ben. Ben is one of our OG listeners. I don't want to say the first just to alienate anybody, but I think Ben is probably one of the top 3 people first-time people to ever send us a message about anything. So we were able to get Ben on the phone. There's a couple other people we want to try and do this with. Peter, if you're listening to this, we want to try and do this with you, but you're either going to have to be up during the middle of the night or something because you're on the other side of the world, sir. But I do have Miss Muffin with me.
Hey, y'all.
I've got Daniel.
Hey there.
Say hey to everybody, Ben.
hey guys, nice to meet everybody. Thanks for having me. I didn't realize I thought I just jumped on the middle. You guys sounded really like you were in flow when I first met you.
No, it's just how we roll, man. It's just how we roll. This is, I try and tell everybody all the time, and you'll be able to proclaim it to everybody that you talk to. This is literally unscripted. We kind of have some little things that we know how we do, and rolling and stuff like that. But otherwise, I mean, we literally sit down and just have fun and talk about bikes and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to get you on here, is not necessarily because the listener part, but because, you currently have an eclectic collection of motorcycles, but you've had an eclectic collection throughout the years in motorcycles. So that's something that we want to talk about. But before we get into your bikes themselves, I want to talk a little bit about riding California. What is it like when you're not in traffic? I think we can all kind of figure out what traffic itself is like.
Yeah, well, California traffic is why I started riding motorcycles. We can split the lane legally. I don't remember when that wasn't. We used to no helmet lane split all the time through my youth, and that would make me be able to get to work on time. In the carpool lanes that we have out here, my whole life on motorcycles started basically because I would not sit in traffic.
I think that's fair.
Makes sense.
100%. The only thing I can picture right now, though, is guys in California lane splitting, not wearing helmets, is like Lords of Dogtown. That's all I picture in my head right now.
Yeah, I was right up the street from us, the Dogtown skateboarders. But it was in the '70s they had no information. The '70s and '80s. So I was born in '63. So through my youth, there was no cameras, no anything like today. So with the lack of information, there was also a lack of awareness. That's how they made laws like the helmet law, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're just breaking legs now, that kind of thing.
Well, the upside about it, riding then compared to now, is then you probably only had about 1 million people there, whereas you have like 20 million people there now.
Oh, yeah, it was, and it's like I say, with the lane splitting or understanding the flow, because everybody goes one direction like fish. So if you just can live the opposite way, that works. But once you get out of traffic, like once you're 20 minutes, 30 minutes in any direction, you got quality riding. I mean, you can either be in an ocean, in a mountain, in the trees, or in a desert. It depends what direction you go. From almost anywhere in California in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I watch a lot of I watch all of them. But Thrash and Supplies vlogs that they put out, I'm not 100% sure where, but they're out in California.
They're Southern California. They're down in the valley, which is the valley.
Yeah.
Between Santa Barbara and LA, and they ride all through there, and it's nice.
Well, you see the videos, like on their videos, you see them in traffic, and then they'll get off, and then it's like there's no traffic, there's no cars, they're just out riding, and it's like, man, it's awesome, it's super cool. It's similar to here. The only problem that we have here is every nice road out of the city, everybody also wants to go down that road. Yeah. It's like when you find a nice road here, people are like, oh man, this is gorgeous. People are like, let's build a neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's not where we live in this part of the world. It's not uncommon to have people that live an hour outside of the city they work in.
Yeah.
Like
and when we say an hour, Ben, we mean 60 miles.
Yeah, like a real hour.
Like a real hour. Not 5 miles.
No, we've got, so where Thrasher and those guys are is fun, but it's not like where I'm at. Where I'm at is, I'm going to say better unless you want to go faster. Like they're hitting some open roads that you have no trees. I've got areas where you got trees where you can't see light for 20 minutes because they're 100-foot redwoods.
Wow.
Well, you're starting to get into the area where they have fires and stuff too, though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's California.
Great response.
Yeah, there's earthquakes and fires everywhere. I got a fire. Everybody's got 10 of each story if they were raised here that are, you couldn't imagine that we lived through it. But they don't have them that often. And like right now, 76 degrees, like that. I mean, it's blue out there. There's waves, there's golf. It's like it's November. We have a water issue, but it's worth every business. I don't care what people say. If you have a lifestyle like mine, I can't really live anywhere else, and that includes Hawaii or places like that.
Yeah, no, we got a little agitated when you sent us a message and said most mornings you get up and you go to the gym and you surf and you mountain bike, and we were like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, no, I got it. You guys, it would be nice if you come out, like I say, bring your butts out here. I got accommodations. I'm not going to lie to you. And location-wise, I'm not near Disneyland, so if you're coming for that, I'm not.
No.
Oh, darn.
No, trust me, we wouldn't be coming for Disneyland.
Marcus just took off his Mickey ears.
If we were going to Disney, we have the better of the two, I must say, closer to us.
Hey, if we're on motorcycles, riding to Disney would be fun. I did that about a month ago. I rode from San Francisco down to close to San Diego, all on the coast. It took about 10 hours. You go through Malibu, go through everything.
Yeah.
It's a nice ride if you like oceans and good weather, but all the shit in between and all the twisties that I've got up here that nobody is on except for maybe an occasional bicyclist, that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
And with apps like Rever or whatever, you just put twisty mode on that, you can go 4 hours in a normal, 1 hour ride, and it's all redwoods and twisties. And like I say, I can't take a photo and send it to you because it does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the part of the country you're in, and of course there's parts of the country like this all over the place, but we are privileged to have a very similar area when it comes to riding because, we have our own local streets that are 5 minutes down the road that we can go hit that are a blast to ride, but then at the same time, we can be at the Skyway inside of an hour, we can be at the Dragon inside of about an hour and 20.
Right.
So.
Yep, I'm probably going to come out there this year and try all that. I'm not a fast guy. Like, I hear what you got on your motorcycle. That just scares the shit out of me. Most of my bikes, Muffin can ride, okay? I have, my wife has a license. I don't really, every time I look at putting $5 or $10 grand into one, I go, fuck that, I'm buying another one.
Yes. Yes.
I'm buying another one instead. And I like stock, and I like classic, and I just, I like black and chrome, and then I also like black and out, so I got one of each, but I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not trying to be a dick. They're all pretty much stock.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, listen, there is nothing wrong with stock bikes. I have said for years, because people ask me, they're like, well, if I'm buying a brand new motorcycle, what do I need to do? And I tell them the very first thing they need to do is they need to make it comfortable for them to ride it. Don't worry about making it faster. Don't worry about making it louder. Don't do any of those things. If you need to change the seat, you need to change the bars, do those things, but make it more comfortable for you to ride it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Seat, raise my bars on. I have a 2022 Lowrider S that's probably the fastest Harley I've ridden, because I've never ridden anybody's built up Harley. And when I did, it was already small, so I barely got to the speed on that now.
Well, the thing about it is, and it's like, because there's lots of guys out this way that have moved out this way from California and brought their bikes with them and stuff. And I've seen some of those big power bikes, and there's some guys out here with some big power bikes. But the way that we build our bikes for power and speed out here, I think is a little bit different than what most of the people, not everybody, obviously there's people that build them where you're at the same way that we do. But like my bike, there's lots of bikes that are faster than mine. And in a drag race, a new CBO will beat mine. You do some simple work to a new 117, it's going to beat mine in a drag race. But we get in the corners, you're not going to keep up, because that's where mine was built to do. That's where mine shines. I mean, Daniel can tell you he's rode my bike, straight, dude, stock for stock on the interstate, his Valkyrie runs with my bike.
Yeah.
But when we get in the corners, mine holds it. Mine can
absolutely.
Can fluctuate through those RPMs and everything.
Even when I'm on the ZRX, it's hard to keep up with them on the corners.
But you put that, that's where I am different. When I say stock, I mean stock, except for I think I'm going to go suspension hardcore.
Well,
that's good.
Suspension is one of those things. I looked over it for years. I was like, oh man, that would be cool to have suspension. And I never dove into it. I ended up in a situation where I got my Legends on my bike, and I'm like, man, I should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, I got a 2012 Road King. You know, it weighs 1,000 pounds. You know, easily.
Yeah.
And it's different in the front. And I'm great. So I sat on a new bike. I've been sitting on new bikes at dealerships for years, going, it's not that much different. And then I sat on one that had Legends on there, or I don't even know. I think it was Legends. But it felt so light, and I was just rolling around going, oh, my God, I can make my Road King feel a lot better with some suspension on here.
Well, that's even still that, you know, that blue Road King that we have at our dealership. It's got the Öhlins rear, and it's got the Öhlins inverted front end. Man, that thing,
Oh, yeah.
I really like the way that thing handled. I didn't even drive it far, and it was just like, wow.
Just down the street,
Down
take
the
some
road.
pictures.
I literally put like, I think 2.5, 3 miles on it. And it was just, you could feel the difference. Now, coming from someone that rides a heavy
Yeah.
bagger all the time,
Yeah.
Right.
you could feel that difference. And it was incredible in that short little ride to go, this is insane. But then at the same time, I step back and I go, like $7,000 to $10,000 for the front end of that Road King.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's when I looked at the price. I bought the second bike.
Look, it's fair enough. Just buy the bike that fits the need.
Yeah, you look at the suspension for the Road King, and it's like, man, it'd be cool to have inverted front suspension. Hey, why don't I just buy a 22 lowrider that has inverted front suspension?
There you go.
Yeah. No, I remember I was debating on. I love my old 2012 Road King. I love that thing. I'm not gonna lie. It put not good miles on it. It's fun. But when I was looking to make it faster, it wasn't gonna go much faster with all the work they were gonna do. So
Yeah.
you know, I bought the lowrider. I'm actually gonna build that one to make it faster. I think.
Yeah, there's
I didn't want to start with a 103. I wanted to start with something bigger, so I got to 117.
Yeah, there's a lot to say when it comes to that the old cliche saying of there's no replacement for displacement. You know, when it comes to a bike, that's true. I mean, on cars it's a little bit different because there's things that you can get away with. You have stuff like thicker cylinder walls and stuff. So you can do a little bit more, push a little bit more boost and those types of things. But on bikes, you know, yeah, you can put a turbo on a bike, but then you also have a giant turbo hanging off the side of your motorcycle. It's like, I don't want anything in my way.
Right.
So getting that more displacement, and I've rode some, you know, that Road King has the 114 in it, but it's got the Harley Stage 2 torque cam and stuff, and you can feel it's snappy, and it's like, oh man, that's cool. So, you know, that's definitely something where if you were looking to get more power, but you didn't necessarily want to go any bigger, that 117 is a great motor. You know, throwing a cam and something like that just to get more oomph out of it, you'd be very, very happy.
That's my next move. I'm not, you know, I feel myself twitching right now with looking at the three bikes. So I gotta be honest, I'm not just a rich kid who likes buying shit type of thing. I grew up in a ghetto, and my best friends are still there, and they come and visit me. And when they come, we always talked about, hey, we're gonna ride because he's from Alabama, his dad. And I'm like, we're gonna ride to Alabama. We're gonna do all this stuff as we're adults. And then they grew up to have not enough money to have, you know, an extra motorcycle. So when they come up here and they have two other motorcycles, and we just switch off on the three bikes, and we ride through these redwoods and do everything. And that's kind of why I have three stock motorcycles. I don't want to really boost up a motorcycle, let somebody else ride it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Fair enough.
You know,
I'm very. I've let a handful of people ride my Street Glide, but it's been very select people. I don't just toss the keys to somebody and go, here, go rip it.
Hey, you just showed up in the parking lot of the dealership.
Yeah.
Go have fun.
Daniel briefly rode it, but I know if he broke it, he had the money to fix it. It was the same.
I know these guys don't have the money, but I know that I've known them since kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. Plus, they're in L.A. You know, you come up to, like I said, California is maybe 2 or 3 different states. It depends where you're at. Like, you go way north of us, and it's just downright gorgeous. You know, it's just like Oregon and Washington and all that. So,
Well, I mean, you're saying they're poor in L.A. I mean, if they would sell that little 1-bedroom, 400 square foot shack for $3.5 million and moved to the East Coast, they'd be millionaires.
No, they're poor. They got $500,000 houses, but they're poor.
Yeah, but a $500,000 house, I just want to clarify, man. $500,000 here gets you about 4,000 square feet on almost an acre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, when and if I quit surfing, you may get another Californian out there. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm only here because I got a big ocean next to me. Otherwise, I'd be
Right?
gone. And my wife is from Utah. She's trying to get me to go there, which is a great place. Don't get me wrong.
Here's a prime example. My mom, and this is because my dad's best friend, pretty much his whole life, lives in New York. So this was kind of one of those things where this was where those conversations got kind of started coming about. My mom is in a house that's about 4,200 square feet. Also with a 2-car garage, has a detached 2-car garage on just a touch over 2 acres, and probably one of the most desired places to move in the area, as in neighborhoods. They're building houses right now, 2,500 square foot houses on a piece of land that's barely big enough to hold it. For what are those selling at, Daniel? Like $350, $400?
Yeah. That's where they start.
But my mom's house, what they have here is $600,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's literally, I know it's like somewhere between $2 and $3 million out there.
Yeah, and it's not going down because
No, it's not going down.
As bad as stuff is right now, somebody's buying all these houses. There's none for sale around me. And every time one comes for sale, they buy it for another 100. See, they did that when everybody had money, but now they're buying houses. I mean, Tennessee ain't gonna go down in price.
No.
Utah, none of these. I look around like I said, I'm in the retirement phase of my life, and we just decided to stay here because it really wasn't that big of an advantage for us to move, unless we wanted a bigger house. And you get old, you don't want bigger. So,
Yeah.
That's a lot to maintain.
Well, everybody that moves out here, most everybody that moves here, for Crystal, for example, my new receptionist at work, she's actually born and raised in LA. They came here, and the first thing that they bought was a place with property. They have 15 acres.
Yeah, we're to that stage.
Yeah. But that's I mean, and
That's a lot.
for everybody that works, all of us that work together over there, we got people that they're 30, 40 minutes to work, but that's because they have to come right through the middle of town. And it's like, man, we talked to her and it's like, you live forever out, because if you were here, you'd be like, man, she lives a long ways out because she's in between Chattanooga and Knoxville. She can get to Knoxville just as fast as she can Chattanooga. But it's literally an hour for her to get to work. And she's like, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's the people there that are very attractive. I think more than your housing prices.
Yeah.
People, I listen to you guys. I'm like, hi y'all. It's Muffin. Versus what the fuck I run into here. I mean, my neighborhood is very cool, but I don't really need it. People aren't welcoming me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you guys aren't welcoming people there, you sound nice. You might be
Turn you away with kindness.
With kindness.
Yeah.
We like to vet the people that move in here. We don't, unfortunately, we don't get to vet them before they move in. After they move in, we vet them, and then everybody that's from here votes on whether we kick them back out or not.
Yeah. It's a big community vote. There's a big text message stream.
That's how it should be, I'll be honest with you. You gotta fit in or get out,
It's like American Idol.
But one of the things we like to do, though, whenever we do hear, you were talking about your water stuff earlier, is when y'all are conserve water, we all go out and water our lawns immediately.
Yeah.
We're like, oh.
Yeah, no, the water thing's interesting out here. We got, like I say, California has its benefits, and then we have a couple of things we have to worry about.
I get nerdy on some things sometimes where people are like, why in the world are you watching that? I watched an 1.5-hour documentary the other day on Vice about California and their water supply. And some of the old towns and stuff. There's a town, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a town where when they started building the Los Angeles Aqueduct, this was like the first town they started pulling water from. And like now, like the sand there is like polluted. Like they have these dust storms and people get like all kinds of lung diseases and stuff. And I'm like, just because somebody needed water in LA.
Got rid of an entire town.
So
Yeah, no, that's a subject. That's a subject, man.
yeah,
I understand the water system, so we can get into like religion, we can get into politics, but the story of of water out in California and how they built it is. I read a book on that, and it's freaking boring. So I'm not going to make this a long story. I'm going to tell you that they asked the Mormon people who designed a very similar dusty place that was worthless in Utah, and they turned it into a place, that they wanted to live in. And they did such a good job that the government said, we're going to look beyond your Mormon issues. You can't have polygamy, but we need you to help design our waterway. And they did what they call the Cadillac Desert. They brought all the water out this way.
yeah.
And so then I just heard the other day that the Mormons are the Mormon Church is the fourth largest landowner in America, and they bought all along that waterway.
That makes sense.
They're controlling our water, which is fine. They're a good organization. But, yeah, no,
I feel like there's somebody's pulling politics. Not you, but people are. It's some people are playing chess when other people are playing checkers. Is what it is.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is for them to do that, what they did for the water. It isn't our water we're drinking. We're drinking a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, I'm up in Northern California. So that mostly went down to L.A. San Jose's right in that middle area where we actually have a lot of water north of us. And we get our water from the Sierras, which is, where Tahoe is.
Yeah.
You guys, it's a neat area. Like, I grew up in Los Angeles and thought it was great until I moved away and I realized it was not great. Great place to visit. Great place to visit. Like, if you were to come out there, I wouldn't waste your time. I'd say, let's ride down there. It's a long ride. You can see the coast. You can see Disneyland. I show the nice parts of cities. I don't ever show the bad parts. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to go to Crenshaw.
Great vacation.
So let's go through this. You got a 2012 Road King that, for the most part, is your stalker. That's your touring bike, as you were saying.
That's the one I take when everybody borrows the other one. It's a big, heavy thing. I love riding it.
You've got a 22 Lowrider S. What have you done to your Lowrider S so far? You said you have different bars and stuff on it?
Yeah, I bought a typical story is I was looking at them and I wasn't really looking for a bike, and then somebody bought one and got scared on it after a few hundred miles, and I bought it off of him for $19K and like a year ago, and or less than that. And
well, that's only like $15,000 less than what your dealers are asking for them.
Yeah, it was the only difference I got on it was it was like $5,000 off or whatever, but it just happened to walk by as I was looking to upgrade my Road King. And I was not happy with the numbers I was going to get off the Road King. And I went, maybe I'll turn a lowrider into a bagger. Because, like I said, I'm little, man. I would love to have a 500, 600-pound bike instead of a 1,000-pound bike.
Yeah.
But they're just two different bikes anyway. So I put, the guy who got it from, he put some tips on the pipes so it's kind of loud for me, because I don't like loud on my motorcycles.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, we all have quiet bikes here.
Yeah. I'm the only one. I pull in, nobody hears me. My wife always, I thought you didn't like loud bikes. And I'm like, mine's not loud, but now I've got one that's kind of loud. But I changed the seat to a Saddleman seat, put a sissy bar on there so I could hold some more bags. And then I raised it about 6 inches. So I live in San Jose. Right next to us is Bung King. You know Bung King?
I know Bung King.
Yeah, I go to Bung King. They're like 10 minutes from my house.
Okay,
And
that's cool.
They're really cool to us locals, So I have Bung King, everything from my my crash bar that I also use as a freeway peg.
Yeah.
And I got their just anything they sell, I put on my bike. And then then I have, as far as my bags, I put on my bags and my fairing are Villains to Hero. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I don't know them. I did see, and I don't remember who it was. I literally watched a video Thursday. There's some company that's making an ST style fairing. It's slightly different for the Lowrider S's, though.
Yeah, they did that right away out of the box. And then there's another one that just came out with it. So there's a lot of them coming out now. But I bought theirs because, again, they're 2 hours from my house. And he's like, come on up and pick it up. And, you know, and so I have put they have a very cool bag system and hard bags and a fairing. And that's about all I did to that so far. I think, you know, now I'm just getting used to it.
Yeah.
I'm not a looker type of guy. Like, I don't want, I'm more into performance. So that one seems so high performance here in my Road King. I'm not sure what to do. Like, that's why I'm focusing back on the Road King again. Do I sell it? Do I sell it and upgrade, or do I upgrade it? You know, I'm not sure.
Well, I with mine, I'll say this. I wasn't chasing necessarily the looks. There's been things that have been done to my bike, like when I got the till components and the blacked out components, that literally were just kind of plopped in front of me. And it was like, hey, this is what's going to happen. It was like, okay. Everything else, like, you know, getting the power out of it, getting the comfort, the seat, and those types of things. There was things that I specifically wanted and sought out and went after. But some of the things on the looks outside of the sticker bombing was not necessarily my go-to. It was like I said, it was presented to me, and I was
the opportunity arose.
Yeah, the opportunity arose at a cheap point, and it was like, yeah, why not? Otherwise, the stickers that was all me.
Yes, it's the only part of the bike that's really you.
I like the stickers. I was a sticker guy. I got stickers all over the place, and I'm like, dang, I like that idea. I almost feel like I'm gonna have to snipe that from you.
Do it, man. It gets the attention. And the cool thing is, because the world that me and Daniel both came from before we were into motorcycles, which was that Euro and import scene, we meet guys now that are in their early 20s or 30s and stuff like that are still in that import Euro scene, and they see the stickers and they immediately know. They're immediately like, oh, this guy's one of us. Yeah, he's riding Harley, but this guy's one of us.
Early 2000s.
Yeah. This guy knows what dad rock is.
You know, when I was young, if you didn't buy something from the factory or go to the factory, you didn't get a sticker. Like, they didn't sell stickers.
Yeah.
So when we put the original sticker guys like us that put them on, people were like, "Oh shit, you know Bun King? You went there and bought something, you know?"
Yeah.
FMF was in my neighborhood. I grew up in a city called Harbor City down in Los Angeles, and that's where FMF started. And we used to just ride by there, and they always throw a sticker. We had FMF on all our bicycles and stuff, you know. It was kind of cool, but it wasn't you can buy the sticker.
Yeah.
You had to buy the pair. You had to buy something to get the sticker, and then you put the sticker on proudly, especially on our Japanese bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, that makes me think about this real quick, talking about your neighborhood and where you're at. Where is, and this has nothing to do with motorcycles, but in reference to you, where is Redding, California?
Oh, that's a nice place. It's probably California is real long. It's like a 14-hour long state if you're driving at a high rate.
Yeah.
So Redding is probably 4 hours to the northeast of me.
Okay.
So you can take the coast to get to Oregon, or you can go inland. You would go like above Sacramento. So I'm an hour and a half towards west of Sacramento. So Redding's probably 2.5, 3 hours north, an hour or so south of the Oregon border. But really beautiful area. I mean, between Redding and the coast might be one of my favorite rides. It's freaking.
Well, we've got a listener.
Awesome.
We have a listener that that's downloaded every episode, or a couple listeners in Redding, California. We don't know who they are. They've never sent us any messages. You need to figure out who they are and go ride with them.
Yeah, both ways. Yeah, that whole area. So my father lives up in Eureka, California, which is on the same coordinate as Redding, if you will. So they connect through a small area from Redding to the coast, where my dad lives. And then down to my house might be that is my favorite motorcycle ride. There's nothing better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going for speed. I'm going for like looking around and seeing just about everything.
Yeah, I years ago when I worked at the Honda shop, that was the first time I've ever really been around anybody from California. I worked with a guy that was from Petaluma.
Yeah, that's close. That's right by where Villains to Heroes is. That's what I said. It's about 2 hours north.
Yeah. But what was so funny for anybody listening to this that has never really been around people from California, or you meet people from California and you're like, oh, I would have never guessed it. This guy was the epitome of what you would have pictured in your head when you're like, this dude's from California. He's like, oh man, what's up? Oh. I was like, oh. He wasn't a surfer either. That was what was crazy about it. Because like I've been around surfers from all over the country. I mean, guys on the East Coast, because you can get some gnarly surfing when you start getting up actually towards like Virginia and New Jersey and stuff. There's some gnarly surfing stuff up that way, and you meet those guys, and they're all a little kind of I don't know any other way to describe it.
So are you stereotyping people?
No. It's okay.
We've
Well,
already done that episode.
Kind of yes. But it's the same way as when you think of like when you meet a cowboy,
Yeah.
and you're talking to some cowboys, and it's like I never would have guessed that. But you meet some cowboys, and they're always like, yay! And it's like, okay, yeah, that guy's a cowboy. That's how some of these guys are.
Yeah.
This dude acted like that, but was not a surfer by any means. He had no balance. He would trip walking across the sales floor. So it was like,
it sounds like me.
I was like, I know you're not a surfer.
And I do everything because I think I couldn't do anything as a kid. I want everything around me, and I'm like, I want a motorcycle, can't have one. I want to surf, can't afford it, And now as soon as I got old enough to do stuff, man, I said, I'm never stopping any of this stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Never should.
I 100% get it. So you also have your Ducati. You still have that?
Yep, that's a 2008. Did I tell you I won I got some neighbors that have like $500,000 Ferraris.
Okay.
One guy's got multiple, and
sounds like you live in a very poor neighborhood.
Unfortunate. So these guys invite me to Monterey's big car show where everybody in the world comes. Sheiks and everybody. They do the Mecum Auto Show and all that. And they display their cars. It's also where you get certified as make sure every year you get a certification for your Ferrari so it keeps going up in value to make sure it's stocked. They have the inspector on it. And so they're like, hey, come with us, because we're displaying our cars. All these movie stars and power people will be there, and we get a free ticket. And this year they're doing a motorcycle event. And I went, oh, yeah, I would like to see that. They go, no, they need people because we're the show. We display our stuff. And people bring their whatever. And I was like, yeah, this year it's Italian motorcycles. And I'm like, cool. So I got on my bike and I rode down there. And for $75, I entered. And they say, hey, you want to be in the contest? And I was like, oh, no, I commute on this fucking thing. I'm going to ride down here. I'm going to come and hang out with, and look at all these millionaires and billionaires and spend the weekend in Monterey, which is, by the way, if you guys ever come, I'm taking you there. So that's where Laguna Seca is, which we can also go. So,
well, we'll definitely go there for sure then.
Yeah.
But as we're hanging out, I see this dude, so they have all these motorcycles in an area, they have all the Ferraris in the area, they have all the Lamborghinis in the area, Fiat, whatever. And I see this dude put a sticker on my motorcycle. And I was like, whoa, who's fucking with my motorcycle? I'm going to put a sticker on it, So I run over there. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to figure out where to put this. And I went, don't put a sticker on that motorcycle. That's mine. He goes, this is yours? I goes, yeah. He goes, you took third place. I took third place. He goes, yeah. So I go, what did I win? He goes, I don't know what you win. I go, no, I didn't enter the contest. What did I win third place in? He goes, oh, I don't know. And then some other guy goes, hey, number 2 and number 1 were so custom and old, they wouldn't ride their bikes. They pushed them, and we're on a golf court. We're on hole 3. We got to go to hole 18 where this huge arena is set up. And I started my bike up, and I rode it here, an hour and a half from my house, or an hour from my house. So on my motorcycle. And people were just taking photos with me. So
Nice.
So I get a plaque. I got a plaque. I got the Ducati, and they're taking these photos. It goes away. A year later, the guy goes, "Hey, you want to come back?" I go, "Yeah, I'm not bringing my motorcycle because that was like make a wish, man. Like I can't believe they let me in parties. I couldn't believe how good that was. I'm not going to do that again because everybody's seen my bike. They were offering me like $25,000 for it, and I had just spent like 11 on it the day before, you know. So I'm like, all right, so. I go back this year and I don't go to the Italian section because I spent the whole freaking weekend there last year. And I'm hanging out with Porsches and meat gum and all these different cool things. And I'm like, this is great. And I come home and my neighbor had a Fiat there. And he throws a catalog down, which I'll send you the photo. And like in the middle of the catalog is the motorcycle section. And I got a full page ad of me sitting on my bike on the Ducati.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'll send you the ad. This photo is hilarious.
Yeah,
that is super cool.
That's the best part about it is you didn't even enter. You still
Right?
Yeah.
You still won.
Yeah, I paid $75. That's hilarious. And I'm like, I just, you know, and the guy just told me straight out. The judge goes, "I want one of these." I was like, that helped me win, you know. And everybody there thought it was older. It's a retro style bike. So
Right.
It's a 2008, because I'm not, I looked at, I think I said Daniel or somebody, one of you guys, BMW R9 Gearhead I was going to buy.
Yes, you did.
Which my buddy Phil has, and it's a really nice bike. But I was like, you know what, I like to drive to Laguna Seca, and I want, you know, disc brakes.
That's understandable.
So I bought what looks like a retro bike, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of people at that show, as known as they were on cars, I don't think they knew motorcycles. I think they thought it was like a 70s bike, you know, to be honest with you.
You know what? They don't need to be corrected. They can think whatever they want.
Let people think what they want, man. It's just like we have this joke at the shop about like you'll start up your bike and maybe you just have slip-ons on it and people come up, they'll be like, "You got a cam in that thing?" And it's like, yes, I do.
Yep.
It's like, not sure if you're aware, they all have cams in them.
Yeah. I can't wait to get my cam. No, I'm not going to lie. I pull up people that do. I pull up to the Harley shop and there's a bunch of dudes out there. You can't hear my bike at all. I got a stock 2012 Burger Road King. It sounds like any old Honda, you know. People think the Harley comes stock sounds loud, you know. Crazy.
I tell you, when I cammed my bike and put the exhaust on it, I was excited about it. But what's more exciting, and I still get it all the time, is I have people that tell me, and people that have nice bikes, they're like, "Man, your bike just sounds so good." Whether it's going down the road, whether it's accelerating, whether it's sitting still in a parking lot, it just has that sound that you want. It sounds so good. And I have people say it, and it's every time I hear it, it makes me feel really good because some of the moments, it's like, for instance, last May when I was at Loretta Lynn's, Sean was talking to one of the corporate Harley guys or whatever, and I kind of pulled up on my street glide and parked it. And he asked Sean, he's like, "Is that Marcus's bike?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's his personal motorcycle." He's like, "That's interesting." And Sean's like, "Yeah, that thing is one of the best sounding bikes that is on the road right now." And like, they're not talking to me, but I hear it and I'm like, man, that makes me feel really, really good.
Yeah, so, I don't want it loud, but I do want that low. I want that.
Yeah. The Harley sound.
I have that, but the great thing about mine is honestly, it's not quiet.
No, it's not.
It's nowhere near as loud as what a lot of the other guys in town are, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that have much louder bikes than me. But
I'm gonna keep my routine quiet. So when I'm going somewhere, because I did take my lowrider to LA, and it's loud enough that I felt it in my ears, and I never feel my lowrider in my ears. So I think my lowrider is good for 2 hours all day long. You know.
Yeah, I don't feel it in my ears. That's the upside. I guess it might be the helmets that we're wearing or something like that.
Or that we're not riding in places with lots of buildings.
You guys are sitting way above. You guys are like a foot taller than me.
I'm not.
Well, the nice thing with mine, I think I love the point that I love the most when it comes to the sound of my motorcycle, and this is when it's at its loudest. But when you're on the road, whether you're on the freeway or on a back road or something, and you crack in it and you get to about 3,500 RPMs and you're just chasing up towards that red line, it sounds like a race bike, just one of those race Harleys, just getting at it. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, the power is still extremely manageable though, even at that point. Now this is coming from somebody that I've rode plenty of very fast motorcycles, so saying the power is manageable at that point is my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to do that to my lowrider. I'm just being easy on my bank account and my wife for like 9 months. But I am gonna go stage 2 at least on that thing.
Yeah. Well, what you do is you just let the parts show up at your house, and when your wife goes, "Where did these come from?" You go, "I don't know.
I don't know.
It must have been a gift.
I have no idea."
You know where I blew it? I ain't gonna lie. I was riding. I got a new jacket. The jacket has an indoor pocket, which I never put my wallet in my jacket, but I did this one day. It had like this vertical opening, and it fell out. And somebody brought my wallet back without the cards and money in it, but it was all crunched up. And by the way, all you people out there who think that the biker wallet chain is useless, what the hell?
Well, I have a front pocket wallet myself, so.
Well, I mean, I have ways of bringing my wallet. I just realized this was a flaw in the jacket, and then as my wife had to go through and cancel all the, your auto pays and all that.
Yeah.
She's like, "Dang, what are you doing to your motorcycles? I thought you weren't going to do that." And I'm like, "Oh God, she's paying attention. I'm just hold up for a little bit."
gotta cool it for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just when she, where she's going into retirement next year. I'm retired. She's going into retirement next year, so in June. And she's getting just getting nervous when you go into retirement, And by the way, the reason your guys' ears don't hurt is you ain't 60 yet.
Well, I think fortunately for me, when I was on the fire department, I
lost all that hearing.
I lost all the hearing at that point in time riding on the back of fire trucks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
And I lost all my hearing riding behind Marcus.
yeah, so it works out really good.
Same.
That's funny you say that, Daniel. My buddy Angel used to have a loud bike until I got my second bike. I ride around with him a lot, and I used to like to go in front of him on my road team because I could hear my music in my helmet. And then when he pulled up next to me, or some other guy who was like Marcus will pull up on the road, we all pull up to each other and ride for a while on the freeway.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll lay back, try to get away from these strangers that were just kind of riding down because I can't hear my music because their bike's so loud.
Yeah.
Well,
that's that happens with Marcus.
My bike that I actually had before the Street Glide was louder than my Street Glide.
That was obnoxious. Obnoxious.
I love loud bikes. I love the people. Because, I do too much riding. Like, when we ride, we usually do 2-3 hour rides every time we go out, just twisting around. Nothing real fast, Like I said, I'd love to bring you guys out here. I'm going to come out there just because I got my sisters in Nebraska, and I got my nephew out in Indiana, and then I was looking at the map. Good friend in Huntsville. You guys triangle right into that. So,
yeah.
We'd love to have you. We'd love to see you out here for sure.
You guys are talking about doing an overnight. Are you doing an overnight camping trip next year?
We're doing a 2-day overnight in April. We're not. I don't know if we'll camp or if we're going to hotel room yet, but we're going to go down to outside of Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
We're going to go to Road Atlanta. They do the King of the Baggers down there. So we're going to go down there for the moto racing and King of the Baggers.
Mm.
Well, I'll make a deal. I'll come out to that if you guys come out to Laguna Seca for King of the Baggers. I was there this year.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
I would love to go to Laguna Seca for King of the Baggers.
That would be badass.
You got to talk my boss into letting me do that one. Man.
Dealer ride.
Time, man. Just take a vacation in the summer. You get like the beach. I'll show you a good time, and all it'll cost you is to get out here because I got accommodations, man. We'll leave it at that.
Hey, I'm ready for that.
I'm talking to Muffin. My accommodations are for Muffin. But seriously, I can host you guys, and I'm centrally located,
Yeah.
in California, right
Well, we've wanted to do that. Daniel and I have talked about that several times about doing a cross country road trip.
Yeah.
And then spending, at least 3-4 days riding up the coast of California and stuff. And of course, Muffin said she'll fly and meet us in California. But it's definitely something I'd love to do.
Yeah, no, I throw an invitation out. You guys, you're entertaining every week for all of us, and letting us into your lives. And like I said, I love the honesty. And that's it. It's just fun to talk to you and listen to you. I'm glad you called me as well. But as far as my offer, I'm not. You can come on a stock 2012 road team and that Ducati and my 22, which my friends always ride because I don't trust them on a road team because it's so dippy. You guys don't. You can just fly out yourselves. There's a nice Muffin can sit on the back of that road king comfortably. I don't have backpacks on my lowrider.
Well, Bun King makes rear sliders that are also double as pegs. I don't know if you know that. For that.
No. She'll be so comfortable on the road king. Quiet, nice and quiet. Marcus can't go fast.
Hey, she likes speed now.
I like going fast.
I think I would love to bring my street glide, though, to California just to piss off half the people in California.
You know, that's the old shit, brother. We got you out here already.
People like you exist already, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm the only one out here like this. Trust me. Everyone, when are you going to put a mic on that thing?
Well, it is funny you say that. I've rode with some guys out here from California and stuff, and I'll get riding and stuff, and they'll be like, "Man, you ride like we do," and I'm like, "Yeah, what do you think we just like poke along on the backcountry roads and stuff like that?"
I do that. I poke around more than I ride hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I do both.
I love looking around. I mean, I'm always by an ocean or trees and there are deers. I almost get hit by deer all the time. They're dumb as shit. You can't. I don't know why people gotta go so hard to hunt those fuckers. You can just ride through the street.
Yeah.
I got like 9 of them sitting in my front yard right now.
But Muffin's sitting over here going, "Yep," because we almost hit a deer on the way to Daniel's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit."
She's like, "That was a baby," and I go, "No, that was an adolescent."
All my friends are hunters. I'm not a hunter, not that I'm against it. I mean, I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore, but
Yeah.
But I don't hunt because it just didn't sound fun. Like I like hanging out. We hang out, we do all this. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know.
Hey, I get it. We're not hunters either, unless it's like the neighbor's cat. That's the only thing we hunt.
Those damn cats.
They were telling me, whenever we slice it open and gut it and pull it back and have to walk back to the car, and I'm like, carrying the body? Like, yeah. I'm like,
see, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I've got buddies that hunt, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to go hunting," and I'm like, "Okay, let me know when the meat's processed. I'll buy some from you."
Yeah.
See,
I got it here at all times. If you ever need venison, my buddies they're avid hunters, and I got a freezer full of venison.
Nice.
See, why go hunting when you just take a minivan down the street and hit one, and then there it is?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we Daniel and I, and Muffin not so much because she really actually enjoys sports, but obviously the South football season in fall, it's I mean, everything shuts down for football season. But that's when like everybody wants to watch football, and me and Daniel are like, "Let's go ride."
Yep.
Let's go ride. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. I ride and golf on Sunday.
Nothing wrong with that. That sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Yes. No, the Niners play here. If there's a Niner home game, there's always a tea time available, or just nobody's around, and like I said, I like sports, and if it's raining outside, I'll watch it. That's about it. And let me ask you a question. So, something you got to worry about out here is oil on the road, right?
Yeah.
The main reason I haven't powered up my Harleys, so I've had a lot of Japanese bikes and never passed, and I'm not a wheelie type of guy. I keep 2 wheels down, but on my Harley, the way I'm sitting back and just in that position, if I hit oil, I'm sliding a little bit. If you have that power like Marcus has on his bike, you don't worry about that going into turns like somebody's leaking oil.
No, we do. I still have that issue, but the upside about me, and you would experience this if you cam the 117, is with your 2,000, 2,500 RPMs, it's literally going to be mild mannered like the bike is stock.
Oh, okay.
You just kind of learn I've learned, I do a lot more playing with the clutch than I did before I had the work. Just kind of being able to ease out and stuff like that with it. But it's, I worry about it wet or dry. But it doesn't, we have a lot of oil on the road. We also have a lot of tree sap on the road, which I'm sure you deal with that too.
Wet leaves.
Wet leaves. So it's something that we think about, but even then, for me, like if it's wet, I've literally, I poke. Daniel probably rides faster than I do when the roads are wet.
I know that's not true.
I poke
Y'all
when
both
it's
poke
wet.
when it's raining.
I mean, like on a 50-mile-an-hour road going like 30, 35.
Yeah, I don't worry. I don't worry with the stock power. I roll through that shit like it's nothing because I don't have to damage. Coming out of the turn doesn't. I mean, oil's oil. You got to watch out for that. But I'm afraid when I get a cam, it's just got to be throttle, less throttle.
No, I tell you where it matters more for me, or where I experience it more, is not on the wet. It's on the painted lines. Because I can be coming through an intersection when the roads are a little damp, and hit that painted line. And if I've got it at a point where the tire wants to break loose, it'll just immediately just rev right up. So usually in those situations, when I go into a turn, I'm completely off throttle. I've got my foot on my rear brake, and I'm just kind of easing through those turns.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hesitate on is, I'll get casual, relaxed. Nobody should ever smoke weed and ride a motorcycle. But let's say you did, and if you're on something with power, you kind of want that, that relax. You hit that throttle, and you're like, oh shit. That's one reason I kind of stay on the slow bike to just kind of roll. I can't hurt myself with my throttle at all. It's sad to say, I know that, but at the same time, I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Yeah, well,
nobody leaves me behind. Like when we go somewhere, they're not leaving me behind. So.
You'll be fine. I would say if you rode the way that you do now and just kind of, don't push it. Honestly, if you got on my bike and didn't try and crack into that throttle and go fast, you would be like, oh yeah, this bike has more power, but you would not think that it'll go the way it goes.
Yeah, that's my goal is to ride one. I'm waiting to hope my buddy Angel puts one in, but I gotta get somebody who'll let me ride their customized bike, that's the problem. Because everybody is I'm a Harley, nobody lets you ride a Harley. I'm like, fuck it, I got two that people can ride.
Yeah.
Ride mine,
Well, being in California, I'm surprised you don't have an FXR.
An FXR?
Yeah, a Harley-Davidson FXR, the old 80s Harleys.
No, I had I had a 68 FLH in the 80s. I'll show you a picture of that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was 20 years old in the 80s, so I had it from like 85 to 90, and then the frame broke in half. I paid $3,500. I paid $3,500 for it, and they wanted $1,200 to fix it, and I said, fuck that, and I sold it for $5,000. And then all of a sudden, Harley went nuts after that. I was like, I'll just buy another one, and then they were like 10, $20,000 after that.
Yeah, I bet you wish you still had that thing, don't you?
Oh man, well, I had to change spark plugs every time. That's the thing. It was a looker, but that's what I decided right there. I'm not going to be a mechanic. I want to do something that's reliable.
Well, unfortunately, owning old motorcycles, even at that point when it's only 20 years old, it's still you got to know how to wrench a little.
We've got it's the vintage bike scene is kind of crazy out here. We see a lot more, obviously, of the Japanese, the 60s and 70s era Japanese, but you can literally just be at the go out to eat at a restaurant, and there's somebody with a 1940s Harley in the parking lot at the restaurant. I mean, guys out here, they still ride that stuff on the regular, too.
Absolutely.
They don't just let them sit.
My sister's in Nebraska. Her husband, that's what they got. They got knuckleheads, and that's all they've ever ridden. Like, they've never had a modern bike like an 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
And that they still ride that way. But I was always like, unless they're around me helping me fix it, to do that. So that's like I said, I go with reliability. Plus, I'm just old, man. I don't want to mess with it. I love riding. I got a windshield. I love windshields.
Yeah, I never had a windshield until I got my Street Glide, and now I'm like, oh man, wind protection is something that people don't think about on long rides.
That's how I feel with the Valkyrie. That was my first motorcycle with a real windshield.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I put when I got an affiliate scooter, a 250 Sport City scooter.
That's the best bike you have.
All right, easy, sir. He's got a WR.
Nobody gives me a wave on the road, but fuck them. I'm using it just to get places that have the trunk. You know what I mean? And it's just, I do like the direct drive. Have those gears.
Yeah.
Well, so Chris, Garage Mayhem on Instagram, you should follow him. He doesn't. I don't know if he has any scooters. I don't think he does, but he sends me some stuff, some crazy stuff on Instagram, some scooter stuff, and it's like, oh man, those are. He sends me some, and I sent him a message back the other day. I was like, sir, I think you have a problem. And he's like, I know.
Oh, yeah, we all do. We all do.
We all do. It's fine.
I'd be customizing the crap. I'd be customizing my bike if it wasn't for my wife who thinks customizing stuff is stupid. So that's why I've got a lot of bikes. And then when I'm ready to customize, I might sell one and throw all that money into customization, if you will.
No, never sell a motorcycle. Never get rid of one.
Hey, I'm going to tell you how to get around the wife not liking you customizing your motorcycles. There is an easy way. Problem, I know I don't have that problem, but I'm going to tell you because I've told this to other people and it's worked. Okay? Get your wife into a hobby, whether it's a car or not, that they constantly want to spend money on. So for one of my friends, he got his wife into Jeeps, and now she constantly wants to do stuff to her Jeep. So it becomes a little bit easier to go, you're always wanting to spend money on this. Let me customize my motorcycle. It works.
You know, Marcus, that works. I did that. I got my wife into motorcycling. She has a motorcycle license. And now we have a $250,000 kitchen remodel.
Hey! You see how that works?
See, I don't know if that worked out in your favor.
Yeah.
Well, it does if he likes to cook.
Yeah, true.
I do bring it up when I'm like, I brought home, that lowrider. I was like, yeah, it's on a $250,000 remodel. Come on.
So that was a $275,000 lowrider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know what a remodel really was. Did you throw numbers out?
Yeah.
She had a round number of 250. It wasn't 225. It was fucking probably 400.
That's how it goes.
People been here for 9 months. I'm not sure what they're doing.
See, once again, the difference between Tennessee and California, that job could have got done in Tennessee for a half a case of beer and a pack of cigarettes, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no. You can't do anything out here. It's the price. Yeah, I think a hamburger now is like fucking $15.
Jeez.
For like McDonald's or whatever. They have to pay minimum wage of $20 an hour, and everybody goes, "Oh, good for them." I'm like, "Yeah, your hamburger's now going to be $20." I mean, that's what people want. California's tough, man. I'm lucky. I hope people move out, and it's crowded. My whole life they've always said, "Oh, California's going to fall" or whatever, but it gets more crowded every year. People are coming here. I'm not going anywhere other than vacation.
Yeah,
I love it here. I until I quit surfing. Like I said, if I stop surfing, the world is my oyster. But right now, I have to have I have to be short mental on where I can live. I like to surf.
I have a feeling, though, you come out here and visit, not that you're going to move here, but you might end up looking at buying like a cabin up in the mountains somewhere and keeping a couple motorcycles there to just come out to the East Coast for a couple weeks and ride a couple times a year.
Yeah, no, I got friends like you to stay with.
Absolutely.
Daniel's got the space. We're in his office is the opposite room from the spare bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
You come out here. You're more than welcome to ride any of the bikes in the garage.
My
I'll
house
get you Marcus's keys.
Yeah, my house. You're just going to sleep on a couch.
I'll take one of those KZ 900s.
I don't have a 900. I've got two 1000s and a 650 that you can play with.
That's better. That's good. That's the vintage years. That's my childhood right there.
Yep. But if we get the keys to Lewis's garage,
then we do have 900.
We've got two 900s, one 900.
He's got one 900,
one 1000,
one 1000, the KZP, which
is
a 1000,
an FXR,
FXR,
Road King,
Yep.
Street Glide. and a dirt bike.
All that stuff. I just, like I said, I just don't like working on them. I wish I could. And I thought about it. That's how I got that Ducati. I went into this place that's supposed to teach you how to work on bikes while they charge you a little bit.
Yeah.
But some mechanic bought him and goes, no, we don't do that anymore. I can just charge you, you know. So I never. But then I saw the Ducati and they're like, what's that? He goes, that's some lawyer had it parked in his garage. It had like 1,200 miles on it or whatever, and it was just parked there. And I'm like, I want that bike, you know.
And it's such a shame to let that bike sit like that.
Yeah.
And now it's got like 3,000 miles on it or whatever. I mean, I don't ride it a lot because, again, I like wind protection.
Yeah.
And then once I won that, I don't know, it's weird. Once I won that award and shit, it just kind of was like, okay, I don't know.
Do you have it on like a little Ducati mat in the garage with the award next to it?
You know what? Come out and see. I got a kind of interesting layout, but I got a little single car garage we have like an in-law quarters.
Yeah.
I got a similar situation in Marcus's parents. So, you know, I got right now I've got 3 motorcycles in there, but I put them all pulled in a little corner. I got a Ducati and a Harley emblems and shit. It's a nice looking little garage, but
that's the way to do it.
My buddy's got a 2014 BMW 1100. That is just remarkable with all the movable stuff, and you know, like one of the first high tech ones.
Yeah.
He only has about 2,000 miles on that, and asked if he could park it in my house, and I could ride it. So you guys might want to get on that airplane soon, man.
Hey, I'm definitely considering it for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's coming. I can go pick it up. So I've got my bike scrunched together to fit his bike in there. He's also the guy that has. He's got the R90, the 1970s, whatever, R90, that silver shadow.
Yeah.
Freaking gorgeous bike.
One of the other problems that I face, though, coming to California is I miss my old motorcycle. And I know I'm going to see a lot of them there. Because my old motorcycle that I traded in to get my Street Glide was a straight up, like, Southern California style bike. I had a Softail Deluxe. I had a set of, like, just 10-inch apes on it, rolled forwards, all chromed out, 21-inch front wheel, long fishtails. I mean, it was a straight up, like, cholo. I mean, it was...
We got that everywhere in San Jose.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, my daily driver truck, too, is also, I call it the Southern California Special as well.
What is that?
I have a 92 Toyota, just standard cab pickup.
Yeah, those are big now. The Tacomas are going for twice the price here.
Yeah.
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 New ones, but yeah, Toyota. I had an '85 Toyota back in the day.
So do you still have your WR? You still ride it?
No, I sold that because all my friends quit adventure riding.
Okay.
That's when I got the Ducati because I usually I don't like more than 3 motorcycles, you know. So I usually mix them around and play dominoes with them. Like I get tired of it, so I've had like a couple of adventure bikes. That one just got way too small for me, and the market was hot, so I was able to sell it like in a second. The WR250 will always sell. I love that bike, but I just realized I think I want to go to the KTM 390, maybe a 600 if I go back to adventure ride.
You come out here and visit. I'll let you test ride. Obviously, we can't really go play because I don't know how your dealers are treating y'all in California or not. But I'll let you ride a Pan America.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. That's a big bike, though, for me to go off in the dirt with, though.
Hey, there's guys smaller than you that do it every day on the Pan America, though.
There's girls here that do it.
Yeah, my thing is, though, I know, I'm conservative. Like, every time I go adventure riding, I fall. You know,
That's part of it, though.
Yeah, that's part of it.
And I'm looking, like, out my window right now, and I'm in a valley with mountains all the way around, and you can adventure ride all these fucking mountains, right? But not fast. You do not motocross. We have, you got to be respectful to the law because they're actually county roads.
Yeah.
So, you know, just like speeding, you want to respect the people, but you go deep into dirt everywhere. And then there's some spots you can rip around like motorists. But, you know, you're always falling in dirt because you're always pushing it a little bit, and you're not afraid to fall. And you're always, if you're raw, you're dressed for the fall.
Yeah.
So, so I love, doing that with small bikes. The bigger bikes makes the fall. The little falls hurt and they're hard to get. You're on the side of a mountain and you have a little bit of, vertical ground,
there's something about it though. We have a lot of areas out here when you get outside of Chattanooga, get 30 minutes east of here, where it literally just turns to national forest, and it's national forest for the next hundreds of miles, and that entire national forest has fire roads and
Trails.
single track trails everywhere. So, and that's where we go ride the Pan Americas and stuff at, and it's such a blast. But there's sections where you almost want a bigger bike because you might get on a gravel road that's a car wide or whatever, but it's flat and straight for the next 5 miles through the middle of this valley next to this river, and you can rip it. You can run 60 miles an hour flying down through that gravel road and everything like that, and it's.
Yeah, no, that's where the payoff is. You can do more of that, or you can turn a little bit more. You get those tight turns or downhill tight turns.
Yeah.
With a cliff on the left. I'm not sure what that's a lot of weight for me. But I mean, I would love to ride one of those, and I know that my buddy picked up a KTM equivalent to that. It's like a $30,000, I guess a 1,200, 1,100.
Probably a 1290 Super Adventure or something like that.
1290, yeah. He picked one of those up, and that's probably those two are the elite bikes right there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, hey, I'm going to leave this up to you. I've got Chop Ride Cell in my hand right now.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to play it or not.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Muffin, you got to just set 3 chips out for Ben right here, and we'll let him know what his.
I gotta shake it up a little bit.
It's been a while since we played Chop Ride Cell. It's been sitting on my coffee table at home, and I just keep forgetting
4.
about it. Is that 4?
Yeah,
no, he gets 3.
Okay. I accidentally pulled out 4.
You pull out ours, so.
Okay.
I think.
Let me pull up.
Is that a BMW?
That's a
Mine.
Kawasaki.
Okay, you'll have to explain
There's
what that one
mine.
is. So you pull out those. I'm going to tell Ben what his 3 chips are. I don't know if you want to make mental note of these so you can figure out what you want to do. But Ben, you got a Honda Fury, a Honda Grom, and a Kawasaki W800. Daniel, what is the W800?
That was the retro twin cylinder that Kawasaki made up until like last year or the year before.
Okay. Is it retro? Is it cafe style? Or
Yeah. Think of like the old KZs, old air cooled
I like
style.
I like those. I'm keeping it riding that thing.
Yeah.
So you got to, like I said, you got chop one, ride one, sell one. Which one are you going to customize?
You got a Fury and a Grom left.
What is a Fury?
The Honda Fury. It's the Honda knockoff chopper.
Oh, I hate knockoff choppers. I hate to say that.
Yeah, it's not a great
I know
bike.
they probably ride. I would have to say sell that.
Customized Grom.
Probably customize the Grom. To be honest with you.
Hey, those are easy to customize.
I'm not going to keep the Fury because I'm not riding.
There's a guy here in town that has a Grom that has a stretch swing arm and it's on air. So when he pulls into the parking lot, he slams it to the ground.
And customizing isn't my, as far as customizing, that's not my area of expertise. Like right away I knew I'm taking that Kawasaki 800 and keeping that.
Yeah.
I don't want to customize it, But I would have to say, the Fury, the Fury might be more customizable.
I just love that you called it the Furry.
The Furry.
The Fury is hilarious. The Fury, I would probably sell the Fury just because no matter how I customize it, I know it would be a Honda Fury that I want. So,
Yeah.
Keeping the ground customizing that sucker for sure.
What 3 chips you got, Daniel?
So I have a Jesse James motorcycle, a Ural, and a VMAX.
What you gonna do?
I love that.
I'm gonna sell the Jesse James motorcycle.
No.
I agree. I live right by Harlan Ness, man. No, they got a museum full of old fucking customized bikes for like $5,000. That cost
I'm going to just ride the Ural.
Okay.
And then I'm going to customize the VMAX. I'm going to see how much power I can make that 4-cylinder.
Oh, Lord. You're going to die is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I'll customize your casket for you.
That's perfectly fine.
I mean, it's fine.
Parts from the wrecked VMAX.
What you got, Muffin?
Okay. I have a GSX-R 600, a Honda PCH, and a J model.
Okay.
You're going to have to refresh me on the J model.
It's a J model Harley.
A J model is going to be like a late teens, early 20s model Harley Davidson.
Oh, the one I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, similar to the one you want. J model's slightly different.
Okay. I still get the drift, though. All right, so I'm riding that thing.
Okay,
That's going to be like a display.
You're riding the J model.
I'm selling that PCH. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I'm going to customize the GSXR.
I mean, not everybody can be cool and ride a Pacific Coast.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That makes sense. Yeah, Pacific Coast would be comfortable, though.
It would be.
It would be.
But it's
I
not
also
my-
hadn't told her yet that it's fully automatic, so.
It's not my style, though.
So I have a BMW K1600, the Dumb and Dumber scooter, and the R18.
That's an interesting selection for you.
Yes, so I'm going to sell the R18 because they look cool, but they have problems taking turns on the interstate because they can't lean very well. I'm going to just ride the Dumb and Dumber scooter.
That'd be your daily for work.
Yep. And I am going to actually customize the BMW K1600. I'm going to take the top box off the back to kind of model like the R1200 or whatever. I'm going to kind of design it a little bit more like an R1200, but try and push the limits and chase down like S1000s on a K1600.
I bet you could slim it down, weight
Oh,
reduction
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. And then I have a much bigger motor too that puts out a lot more torque.
Yes, that 6-cylinder 1600cc motor.
Yeah.
It's a good motor.
A lot of torque. So
I can't get my legs around them BMWs.
Well, that's why that's why Marcus sold the R18.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's you want to talk about something falling over. On the upside, it'd only lean over about 4 inches before the head hits the ground. So
You put some crash bars on it. It can't fall. You don't need a kickstand
that's why the Germans lost the war, right?
because they didn't need kickstands.
No, because they couldn't turn around on their motorcycles. Oh no, do a U-turn!
Oh, God.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.